Hey, my name is Trevor Smith. Welcome to another episode of Full Burn, where we're going to kick some tires, light some fires, and interview awesome leaders across the space and defense industry. Today, I'm with Arthur Dubois of Grid Aero. He's the CEO.
I am.
And we have a special guest, because we're in a four-seater, quotation marks. Adam Long is riding back shotgun with us today. So, Arthur, where are we today?
We are in San Francisco. We're on Market Street, basically near the Salesforce Tower. And we're going to head out to Yerba Buena Island, take the bridge, be fun.
And do you know what car we're in today?
We're in a Porsche 911.
Oh, are you a car guy?
I'm sort of like enthusiast-ish, but I wouldn't be able to tell you everything about cars. I don't consider myself an expert.
All-wheel drive, very fun. Four-seaters, right? So grocery getter.
That's right.
Grocery getter, right? Yeah, German. But a lot of fun. So, yeah, Arthur, tell us, who is Arthur Dubois? Give us a little backstory.
Yeah. I'm the CEO at Grid Aero. I think we said that. But, prior to that, I'm an aerospace engineer. Grew up in France, actually. Moved to Canada when I was 18, to the US when I was 23. And been there since, about 15 years or so in the Bay Area. I have two kids who I love very much. Live in Oakland, and I've been building aircraft for the last 15 years across a bunch of companies. Starting with the crazy air taxis. I don't know if you guys know all about. You probably know all
Joby
about that
or
stuff.
somewhere else.
Yeah, Joby.
Oh,
nice.
You started at Joby?
Yeah, I was at Joby before eVTOL was a name. It was like 20 people in a garage, if you can think of. There's a whole other episode to be done on early days at Joby that I think is awesome. But yeah, I was part of the early team there, and so, got to build 3 different eVTOL aircraft in 5 years, and the growth was nuts, because I joined, it was 20 dudes in a garage, left with 800 people, $1 billion valuation. I mean, that company was just bananas.
What was the ramp up from employee number 20, which you were, and then to the when you left, how long was that?
5 years.
5 years.
It was crazy. It was just so exponential.
You got into Joby right out of college?
Pretty much, yeah.
And what'd you study in college?
Aerospace engineering. Got a master's there from Stanford, and I stuck around. I actually almost did a PhD, and I was like, no, that's not for me. I prefer to build real things.
Sounds like Joby was a PhD in aerospace.
Oh, hell yeah. But it was a hands-on PhD, it was
And they pay you. Did they pay you?
Sort of.
Okay.
Yeah. It's early stage
experience.
Stuff. It was a lot, yeah, exactly.
A lot of experience.
It paid off later.
Yeah.
Talk to me, what was the recruitment like? How did they convince you to come to this eVTOL before eVTOL was a thing?
Yeah, so it was more that I really wanted to do something out of the box. When I graduated from aerospace, a bunch of my professors were like, well, okay, you should really stay in academia, because otherwise you're going to go to Boeing and design door handles for 20 years. And I was like,
riveting stuff.
Yeah, that sounds real shitty. So I was like, okay, is there something really weird? And so one of my classmates was just like, dude, there's this guy building electric aircraft out of his garage. It was like, okay, that's what I'm here for.
Yeah.
I came to Silicon Valley for a reason. And so then I reached out, and I was like, okay, this is my resume, this is everything I did. And next thing I know, I'm talking to Joby, and we're talking about a conversation and joining the company. So
you reached out to them?
Yeah.
Trying to find a job. Okay, cool.
Yeah. I wasn't even really looking that much, because I thought I was going to have to do a PhD.
Yeah.
And then this comes up, and I'm just like, holy moly, this is what I'm here for. So I should be doing that. So I pushed for it, actually. And then, the stars aligned.
And so is this traffic right here.
Yeah, welcome to SF, man. That's a mess here.
Maybe tell us, I'm kind of jumping ahead, but I love this question because I want to learn more about Joby. So what was a sort of program or project or something unique you had to do outside the box to save something you guys were working on, or invent something new at Joby, or tell us something exciting that happened at Joby that you guys had to do pretty unique? Because you're building a really unique new type of aircraft at the time.
Yeah, that's why it's hard to choose one thing.
Yeah.
You can say a couple.
So, Joby is famous for being vertically integrated, right?
Yeah.
And so I think what people don't realize is the technology that is in the aircraft, it hasn't just been around for 2 years. Back when I was there, we were already building the foundation of almost every single part you see in the aircraft. So everything you see today, by the way, is like iteration 12.
Yeah.
So, there's a lot of maturity behind these components, but like, you have the craziest thing, I think, is just like pulling it all together. Because when I look back, we had to build like, the full airframe from scratch. We had to like...
And it's a big airframe.
It's massive. It's like 40 foot. And then, we had to like build the motors ourselves. Then we have to build the gearbox, and then we have to build the propellers, and then we have to, like the list goes on forever. Something crazy. Let's see. So early on, we're building composites. Close to
I wish we had known you 5 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. But like the first composites, it was just like MDF molds, like wood. And so, we made the first one. Oh, this is actually a crazy story. So
MDF being dense foam.
Wood, wood.
Okay,
dense wood.
Yep.
And so we didn't want to pay anybody to cut those tools for us. So we ended up buying this like used massive 5-axis machine.
Oh, wow.
And some dude, we were running it 24/7 because we were on the clock. So some guy had an alarm because at 2 a.m. he had to go in and like empty all of the like wood chips from the room. It was like he like with a shovel and put them all in this truck and take it away because wood chips are super dangerous, or this fine sawdust is super dangerous. It's pretty explosive. Yeah, you don't want it to burn.
Right. Right.
So, and then on top of that, the room would have been full. So like for a month, that dude woke up at 2 a.m. just like shoveling all that stuff out. And so we could build these like 40-foot long tools and like sort of ghetto cure the composite. It was so cool.
That's awesome.
Looking back, I mean, of course it was a nightmare because then you get water infiltration and super hard to heat this like massive, super dense tool. But that's one of the kind of crazy stuff that we did.
That's a lot of wood chip shoveling.
It's a lot.
That's a lot of 2 a.m.
That's a lot of
midnight diner.
Dude, it was...
You were running like 2 shifts. You're running it 24/7, and this guy came and cleaned it out so you can keep doing the next day.
Yeah. And I mean, I think he was also doing the day because it's like there's no other guy. It was like, pretty...
Nobody else knew how to shovel wood chips.
Yeah, I guess so. No, he was the only one brave enough to do it, maybe. I think it was other stuff you had to do with the machine, and it was it was like an old school machine, and you know how it is. It's kind of like there's only one person who knows how to operate these things.
How did the culture change from employee 20 to like, hey, we just hit $1 billion valuation? What was that like?
Yeah, it was a mix of a lot of change and not a lot of change. It was kind of funny because like, all of a sudden we were like structured, right? There was like team leads and I actually started kind of leading bigger and bigger teams and stuff like that. So a lot of the like org was kind of coming into place, but still underneath we're still this like same old school like startup where everybody was just kind of just pushing full speed ahead without looking to the side. So, I will say like, and it's normal to every startup, by the way, that's growing. This isn't specific to Joby. It's just like, if you don't want to sacrifice velocity as you're growing, there's a certain amount of waste that's just going to happen until you can figure out the processes that you want to put in place. So that's kind of unavoidable.
What's the way most people think about aircraft building, and what's the way that they should think about aircraft building?
I mean, I think a lot of people over-complexify aircraft building. In that, like, there's a lot. Let's just say there's like 90% of an aircraft that like can be done with a small number of people. And actually, if you look back, like when you talk to a lot of the old school aircraft designers that I got a chance to interact with, and looking back, I'm like, dude, we were way overcomplicating this. Like, at the end of the day, whether people, specifically for small aircraft, there's like an element of just like, hey, this is good enough. Like, I don't need to worry about this detail, but I should really pay attention to like the big failure modes. And I think when you build small aircraft specifically, you have to find a middle ground because like you can't be Boeing. Like this level of process and complexity isn't actually relevant when you're building something like us, like a cargo airplane that carries 0 people. So you just have to be able to like really narrow down on the like 10 things that really matter. And the rest you have to like kind of accept that you may not know everything, but kind of just based on experience, you'll know I'll be okay. So I think there's quite a bit of complexification when it comes to airplanes.
So you're at Joby. Is the next position Grid Aero, or did you go somewhere else?
No, I work for Kitty Hawk. Do you guys know Kitty Hawk?
Kitty Hawk?
It was this like Larry Page venture.
Like opener?
No, it was the Heaviside program.
Okay.
And so it was cool. It was like the Formula One of eVTOLs. It was just like this one-seater thing, and you were laying down in it, and it takes off and it just like snaps transition. It's like super fast, very agile. I'm not entirely sure that iteration, the design really had a market purpose. But gosh, it was a fun vehicle. It was like sick. Super fast. Yeah. It was sick. Yeah. I recommend watching some videos because like you'll see the eVTOLs and they just kind of take off and then they transition and it looks slow. And then Heaviside is just like, yeah, it's like, say thank you. Yeah. and like, I'm sorry, slow is cool. Like I'm actually a big fan of slow. I shouldn't sound like it's
Well,
not.
you got in the wrong car for that, but go ahead.
But I mean, you see my aircraft, it's not exactly hypersonic. But at the same time, it's like, then you got the Heaviside vehicle and you got this like mosquito that's just like zooms off. Super cool. So that was Kitty Hawk. The company ended up folding. There's a lot of reasons for that, but ultimately, like, the reason I left the company was like, I really wanted to build a product. Like, I'm a person who's, I found out is really interested in like getting something that does a mission, out there in the world. And I don't think Kitty Hawk was necessarily driving it down, which is not wrong. It's just not, it wasn't my vibe.
Yeah. I mean, some of the coolest things have very few customers.
Exactly. Right on. Right. And credit to people who want to do that. I have no issue, but that's just not me.
Yeah. So Kitty Hawk, how long were you there?
About a year and a half.
Year and a half?
Yep.
And then was Grid Aero next?
No.
Oh,
Xwing was next.
Xwing. All right, let's keep going.
Okay. All right, so here's what happened. Along the way at Kitty Hawk,
what is Xwing? I've never heard of this. Other than like Starfighter or Star Wars. Like Xwing.
Yeah, it's actually super interesting. So Xwing is a company that ironically was purchased by Joby right before we started Grid. But the premise was building a sort of a toolkit for autonomy retrofits for aircraft. So think of it as like a set of software and hardware boxes that you can reinstall in an aircraft, just like we have a Waymo here.
Oh yeah.
Great example.
Lots of Waymos around SF.
Yeah, it's basically like, think of it as like a kit, just like you'd retrofit a Jaguar with the Waymo capabilities, but for aircraft. So I was leading a team of engineers there building, hardware and software systems for, airplane autonomy. And that was a purposeful decision on my part, because at that point I was like, okay, the coolest thing that's happening right now in aviation is autonomy.
Yep.
So I wanted to dive into that, and I learned everything there's to learn about like how you architect an autonomy system for aircraft, like what are some of the big problems, big challenges, big tech gaps and stuff like that. And so I spent about 2 years there, and honestly, I was pretty happy. And then the acquisition from Joby came along, and
you're like back at Joby again?
Yeah, it's just like been there, done that. And it's no disrespect to Joby, I just had kind of like other ideas.
They're following you.
Yeah, and okay, here's a good analogy. When I was like thinking about whether to go back, I was like, okay, do I really want to go back to my teenage roots bedroom after I go to college? It's like you go back to your parents, and it's weird, right? Because like you're still this person that they think you're still this person that you were when you were like 16,
right?
And as it turns out, you're like actually an adult now,
right?
So, anyways, that was a little bit of that, and then of course at that point we started to really have strong belief in the problem and the mission behind what became Grid. And that was born just out of me talking to just customers. So I spent, I don't know, a year just kind of talking to customers, both military and commercial, trying to understand like what they needed out of like a logistics service or capability. And just realizing that the gap on specifically the military side is enormous. Like between what every single war fighter tells you they want and what's available, it's just sort of like this just like massive open field. And that's really when I was like, okay, this is probably worth focusing on and trying to explore a little bit more. So that's what happened when Xwing was acquired. It's like, okay, I've had this problem in my head. Let's explore and see what we can do.
So Xwing gets acquired, and then what's next?
Well, what's next is I'm out of a job, but I have this idea, right, that I can't shake, right? I'm just like, okay, logistics, cool. And then, you know, the premise was, okay, if we're talking about military logistics, we're talking about shipping stuff thousands of miles out in the Pacific. And practically speaking, like it's like Guam to Japan, Guam to like Australia, the first island chain. And so you're starting with a like fairly well-defined problem set. And then you're saying, okay, well, it's got to be cheap, it's got to be long range, and it's got to carry like a good amount of payload, and they're like thousands of pounds.
That's a lot of payload.
That's a lot, right? Like, I mean, this is not like you're like Amazon or, you know, Wing drone delivery. This is like real strategic amount of payload.
This is like Porsche 911s.
It's Porsche 911s. How much does this weigh? Do we know?
My guess would be about 3,500 pounds.
Okay.
3,000 pounds,
okay.
3,500.
Yeah.
With Adam in the back, maybe 100 pounds more. I don't know.
5,000 pounds more.
Yeah, something like that. Okay, yeah, then that's about Porsche 911 weight that we're trying to carry.
Okay, so you're flying around Porsche 911s in Indo-Pacific theater.
That is right. That is what the customer said they wanted.
That's what they want.
The end user specifically was like, I really want to go drift a 911 on an atoll in the Pacific.
Yeah.
So that is the mission statement for Grid.
Oh, good.
End of the interview, I think we could go home.
Yeah.
So you got this bug
to
build a big cargo aircraft.
Yeah.
Talk to me about how you assembled the team. What did that like seminal origination look like? Who were your first calls to like convince to join you? Like talk to us about how you sort of started that leading up to like, hey, we got our incorporation and we're a real company. Any fun stuff in there?
There was nothing that crazy about that, actually. It was honestly a lot of grind. I was just...
A lot of crying?
Grind.
Oh, crying.
Yeah, it was really... No, there was no crying involved. At least not until we started fundraising. But no, seriously, it's like I had started connecting with one of our co-founders, Alex, a little bit before that, actually, through a common friend. And we had been talking about the idea. And we're like, okay, that's pretty cool. And then once, like, I actually incorporated the company just because it was like, it doesn't cost a whole lot of money to incorporate a company.
Yeah. Easy peasy.
Yeah, I was like, hey, you know, I might as well have that done.
Yeah.
What's the harm?
Let's get step one done.
Yeah. And then I went out, and then for a CTO, it was like, I started asking everybody I knew, like, okay, like, who might be interested, who might be free. And then there's this awesome dude that, like, I knew, I don't know, you tell me, like, have you ever, like, worked in a company and there's somebody else, like, maybe in another department or maybe another project you're not on, and you just know they're awesome.
They got the stuff.
Yeah, you never really, like, truly worked with them for reals, but you just know they're, like, really, really hardcore and good. So this was what happened with our CTO. It was like one of those adjacent situation where like enough people had told me over time, like this dude is, top notch. So I reach out and I'm like,
hang on.
Whoa. All right.
I love on-ramps.
That's a solid one.
Yeah, we got a little sideways. There we go.
I think there's a parking lot back there.
And a stop sign. All right, you can continue now.
All right, yeah. Cool. Yeah, let me know.
Sick.
So that was...
Where should we go, by the way? We're on
there's like
Yoruba
a
Island.
parking lot somewhere.
Treasure Island is that way.
Well, let's see.
Let's see what's over here.
You know, it's not that big, so we can't exactly get lost. Yeah, and then the last co-founder, Brendan, he was actually friends with Alex, and I was really looking for somebody. You know, it was like a really like strategically put together.
And what year was this?
It was a year ago.
Oh, a year ago.
Well, June 2024.
So I actually know Brandon through Adam.
Okay.
Back when they were working at Starbucks.
All right. Oh, so we can talk shit. No. I don't know if we should talk shit
only about Brandon.
Podcast.
Yeah.
Only about Brandon. I feel like that's fair.
Yeah.
He's a good guy.
Yeah.
We like him, so you can talk shit about
All right, good. Phew, I like him too.
Yeah. Speaking of any embarrassing stories on Brandon.
Um,
Any weird habits he has?
Ooh. Oh, dude, like it's always so loud. Brandon is like, he seems immune to noise around himself.
Yeah.
I'm not at all immune to noise. Like I have a really hard time working when it's really loud around me, at least if I don't have music.
Yeah, the headphones in.
Yeah, and I'll be in Brandon. He's like in a cafe, and I'm just like, there's people yelling around. He's like,
So we'll pause here.
Yeah.
Alcatraz. Is that Alcatraz right there?
That's right.
Yeah. Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
Beautiful.
Ooh.
We'll put Brandon there if he misbehaves.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. I'll do
Yeah,
that.
look at this.
Yeah.
Love being down here. Love this view.
Yeah, and you're lucky because it was foggy this morning. Gosh.
Yeah.
I actually
Next
haven't
full burn,
gone.
we go on a sailboat.
We'll go to sailboat.
Oh yeah. Does Porsche make sailboats?
I don't think so.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
All right, so you got the team together.
Yeah.
Be thinking about something embarrassing for Brandon.
Hey, I'll try to think about it.
So he's immune to noise.
To noise, dude.
To
Like
noise.
it's so loud around him, and I'm just like losing it. I can't hear him.
A man of focus.
Yeah. Oh, this is another thing. Like Brendan always like has the exact same intro, and I keep telling him it's way too long. And
Intro for what?
for like when we talk to VCs, you know, I mean, you guys might have done this, but like
So
when
his
you-
30-second elevator pitch is a
it's like
minute
a
and a half
2
ride.
minute, yeah, with like all the details, and there's always Dr. Roper involved somehow. And Dr. Roper's the guy who like started like I think Agility Prime or something.
Yeah.
AFWorks, anyways. And that always has to come up. So Brendan is not able to tell a story in a succinct way, but actually, you know, a lot of times it brings a lot of volume to the story, to his credit. But sometimes you got to be like, dude, we have like 6 minutes left in this call. Like, let's get it done. So that's always funny, and I always kind of when it's not too important, I find it really funny.
Yeah. All right, so you got the team together.
Yeah.
What was the day you were like, all right, we're going to do this? You already filed your incorporation.
Yep.
And you all three got together and were like, all right, we're going to make this happen. What was that? What was that like? Like, what was day one like?
Yeah, I don't know if there was an official day one, but I feel like, because, you know, we didn't pay ourselves. So this is the thing. Like, up until we got funded, nobody was making a dime.
For a year, right? Because
6 months.
you were in stealth for 6 months?
So we got funded in November.
Okay.
So up until...
Congrats, by the way.
Well, thanks. Yeah. Up until then, we weren't paying ourselves. So you could call that the official, like, we're doing something, like we're building. Before that, we were still, all of us, pretty full-time already, though.
Yeah.
So I'd say, like, maybe we'll say, like, mid-July, July 15th is kind of like, okay, the band is together. We're gonna have a party.
You're going to have a party.
Yeah. And then the thing we did immediately was just like, okay, let's like get our concept out there and go talk to the DoD, go talk to the customer. Like, there's no point doing any of this if, like, in a month the customer's like, I don't give a shit. Like,
Right.
Yeah, but you guys were convicted because you had heard this is what's needed, but you really needed to go out and talk to potential customers and make sure that what you wanted to build aligned with what they needed.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And you know, just like, you never know, but I didn't think it was likely, but in case you misrepresented the problem, you just want to just kind of try to make sure you didn't mess up. So we go to like the Pentagon and we just kind of talk to anyone we can at this point. It's like we make a deck, we send it out, and like within like a week or two, we get a whole bunch of responses, and everybody's like, "Oh, can you brief us? Can you brief us?" And so we end up in these like briefings with people that, like, first off, like, we didn't know who they were, and then they assume we're way further along than we are. So we're literally just there with like our pitch deck and like my shitty rendering of the aircraft, and they're like, "So are you flying yet?" I'm like, "What are you talking about? Like, we were not even a company a week ago."
Nice.
But you know, the like overwhelming amount of response to me was like a huge validation.
That's a little conviction there.
It
Yeah.
was awesome, yeah. And then we get like these letters of support across the board, and everybody's just like, okay, like this needs to go through. And so to me, that was like the first level of customer support.
Yeah.
And with that, we're like, okay, I think we should try to raise capital.
Yeah.
Which, you know, you're building an aircraft, it's hard to just completely bootstrap that, even if you're not paying yourself, just the sheer amount of hardware is there. So yeah, we ended up doing that, and we started raising probably late July. And at first we sucked at fundraising. That's
Had anyone on the team fundraised before, or you guys were all new to it?
Brandon to some degree,
Yeah.
you know, tangentially.
Yeah.
So that was helpful, and he is well connected in the VC world. But that's about it. I've done a lot of pitching, but not.
I think we have an opportunity here. We have to take it.
All right, let's do it. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right,
good.
that was fun. We had a good
Nice.
There we go.
So Brandon's got some VC background.
Yeah, but like
Yeah.
you know, it's weird, and we we didn't know what we were doing, and honestly, it feels a lot like when you do your first fundraise, you're so disorganized. It's like you talk to whoever and you try it. So it probably took us like, I don't know, about a month to get our sea legs under us.
And you're really embarrassed of the version 1 of the pitch deck.
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
it's so bad. Oh my God. Yeah, I think I pitched like Shield Capital really early on. I didn't even pitch them. I was just trying to like figure out if the idea was fundable.
We just left Shield Capital, literally.
Oh yeah?
We just left them.
That's funny. And like, I think they were just like, who the heck is this dude? and like, I don't blame him. I think it was just terrible. So I definitely kind of burned a few things there. But eventually, you know, it starts to really click, and you start to figure out like who are the funds that are really doing hardware and like the true hardware,
Right.
not the fake hardware. There's like,
What's fake hardware? Please elaborate.
oh man, I don't want to get too deep, but there's like so many funds that we've seen that are just like, yeah, we're doing hardware, but really what they mean by hardware is like a tiny box like this, you know,
Okay, yeah.
and then it's still like 99% software. Or like you'll see funds that are, you know, they're doing hardware, but it's only if the hardware is really no risk to it.
Right.
And you know, I respect it, but I just don't think it's what I'd call like really truly deep tech and
Sure.
hardware.
Yeah.
So you know, there's like, you know, you see 1 million people investing in small drones today.
Right.
Like, how many small drone investments?
How many more
have you
small
seen?
drone company startups can there be?
Dude, like, I don't know. Yeah, you tell me.
I saw a count. It was like over 4,000.
It's
Over 4,000 are like working on some sort of like group 1, 2 drone.
Dang.
Is a lot.
Do we think there's demand in the market to absorb that kind of supply chain?
No, there's going to be a lot of capital being burned.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lit on fire.
I mean, that's how I feel.
So
But-
you're differentiating yourself because you call it a flying truck, right?
Flying pickup
you
truck,
call it a
yeah.
flying truck.
Cool.
All right, so tell me why these customers were convicted. Like, why do they think you're very different? You have something unique to offer that the DoD is willing to like
Yeah.
pay attention to. Like, why was that? What stood out?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just like, okay, you look at supply, logistics in general, right? The general thesis is logistics wins. How we won World War II, like the ability to carry tens of thousands of tons of supplies forward in the battlefield is ultimately like, you could argue what led to you know, winning the war.
Yeah.
And that capability has been slowly eroding over the last 20 years. And you know, there was a conscious decision that was made a while ago to basically say, you know, our strategic air cargo capabilities, or our air cargo capabilities, will be fulfilled by, you know, a small number of really large aircraft. And that worked great for a while. And it works great when you're doing stuff in, you know, Afghanistan, when you go into Iraq, even though there were a lot of stories there that didn't work that well, but it worked okay. Like, it sort of like worked. And now like the DoD is thinking ahead, and they're like, okay, what's going to be next? And they're thinking about, you know, what if there's something that happens with China? Like, these aircraft are C-130s or C-17s. They're going to get shot.
Big juicy targets.
Yeah.
Big juicy targets.
I mean, the missile technology has come such a long way that you won't be able to protect these assets. And so they're asking themselves, like, what can replace that capability that can actually, be resilient to these types of
more in a
weapons.
proliferation play than a, hey, we're going to have a C-130 take a bunch of stuff out.
That's right. And you know, the thesis is like anything that flies relatively slow, like maybe outside of some of the fighter jets, is going to get shot.
Yeah.
And so...
you mean bad guys shoot good guys?
Yeah, bad guys do shoot good guys. Yeah, I mean, who knew?
Here's a view of the city.
That's beautiful.
Beautiful view of the city.
It's wonderful here.
And that's not the Golden Gate. What bridge
No,
is
it's
that?
the Bay Bridge.
That's what we came over
Yeah,
on.
the Golden Gate over there in the fog.
Oh, it's a lot of birds.
That's true. Yeah.
So you got conviction, and there's proliferation in play, and like you think this is an Indo-Pacific play.
I don't think it's just an Indo-Pacific play. I actually think that, like, if you look at the rise of China, they're trying to outcompete the U.S. everywhere.
Yeah.
And, it just happens that PACOM is the flare, most likely, for, something that could be bigger. There is a well-accepted theory around called the Ambitious Dragon. There's a paper called the Ambitious Dragon that just really puts together the whole logic for why 2027 is a particularly risky year for, an issue around Taiwan and the Pacific. And, if you're going up against China, then you're going to have a logistics problem because it's not at all the same deal as...
Well, they're already over there. We're not.
That's true.
They live there.
They do live there. That's true. So we wanted to be the volume solution, and then in many ways we're replacing the cheap World War II aircraft that were produced in the thousands during World War II, but that capability no longer exists. So
do you guys have first flight already, or is that in the works?
That's in the works.
Okay.
We had an empty warehouse in January. So in August, we had finished the build of the first aircraft, and now we're doing early bring up, right? It just means that we're turning on all the systems. Uh-oh, you're out of gas. Oh my gosh.
That's all right. We're getting low. It's fine.
Classic Pacific theater problem.
Yeah. I mean, exactly.
Right on time.
So we're doing bring up, and what that means is just like turning on all the systems, making sure everything moves, everything talks. And when all that's ready, then we go for it. We're going to start moving the aircraft around, just taxi. We're going to increase our speeds, get to the point where we're ready to take off.
What's the aircraft look like?
Oh yeah, it's
it's a sexy brick.
It's a sexy brick. Thank you. I might put that on I might print it on the side of the aircraft.
Sexy brick.
The sexiest brick you've ever seen in your life. There we go. But it's a good way to put it. It's a sexy brick. And it's really designed around low cost and ease of assembly rather than trying to eke out the single digit % of performance.
Yeah.
And that's one of the big learnings for me is just when you design something in an aircraft, there's sort of a moment where if you're trying to get, let's just say, an extra 1% performance out of something, whether it's a part, the whole aircraft or something, there's this kind of crazy moment where you're going to start incurring a 10x cost in everything. And you guys do composites, so you probably have a good sense for that, but it's you can get good for, let's say, 10% of the price, but if you want great 99% perfection, that's going to cost you 100x.
Yeah.
And we're always trying to stay on that side of the curve, and that's why you end up with something that looks maybe not the sexiest, but pretty utilitarian and rugged.
So an attractive brick, not a sexy brick.
Yeah, if you like cheap stuff, it's sexy, right?
Yeah. So first flight coming up less than a year?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Let's jump into some more personal questions.
Yeah.
And you having recently raised your first round, so congrats. Is there any advice you would give to, call it year zero founders, right? What's something that you would say, hey, do more of this, and then maybe do less of this? Beautiful scenery with the bridge here, by the way.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So I think the first thing that I would say is be really organized about your fundraising approach. Treat it like this. It's almost like you have to have a CRM. So you're managing this pipeline.
Yeah.
And you're attacking this in wave, right? You're going to say okay, wave one, I'm going to reach out to these 20 VCs, and I'm going to start setting these timelines and these expectations for when I want to be hearing back. And so you want to be really, really organized, almost militaristic in your approach. Once you feel like you have a strong pitch.
Yeah.
Leading up to that is, I think it's really important to find people who are willing to make you really uncomfortable in their feedback.
Oh yeah, red team it. Give it a good red team.
A red team, yeah, and a lot of people don't have the balls to tell you, no, this was terrible, man.
Please call my baby ugly.
Yeah, exactly. Please call my baby ugly. And a lot of people they're trying to be nice, and they're like, well, that was pretty good, but maybe you could tweak a few things.
Yeah,
that's useful. But honestly, if somebody's like, bro, that was terrible.
Yeah.
Like, wow, what a terrible slide, and you presented it terribly. Like, that's going to make you think a lot more than the sort of like nice, well-intentioned advice.
Well, that's why you go to the gym, right? Like pain. You have to get through that hard, polishing of the rock, if you will, until you get that beautiful, shiny pitch deck. Yeah. And you get the pitch down, just the right words to say. Yeah. So, that's really good advice.
And keep your answers short. Like,
Brandon.
Right, Brandon. Yeah, exactly. But do keep your answers short. Like, there's just a sweet spot of like just packing enough information in one sentence and then shut up.
Yeah. Let them maybe ask questions. Yeah. Good advice. So maybe we can jump into a little sci-fi corner.
Let's do it.
Okay. So, do you know anyone? Or have you personally had an interaction with an alien technology, seen something weird, or do you currently have a probe inside you right now?
Oh, definitely have a probe inside me.
You do, definitely. Yeah. This is a first. Someone's admitting it. Where is said probe?
No, I'm sorry. I wish I had a probe. It's interesting because I was actually at a VC event yesterday, and there was a whole lot of talk about like, embedded devices and in people's bodies, and I think it's actually an interesting frontier. I just don't know a whole lot about it.
Well, do you know any pilots that have like seen something weird in the skies? Have you seen a convincing video that's not AI? You're like, oh, that's weird.
Well, I'm okay. All right. I would not be surprised if something was there, and I'll tell you why. Because statistically, there's almost definitely an intelligent civilization somewhere.
So fair to say that you believe in alien.
I believe in aliens,
life
in any form,
somewhere.
Yeah, and I think there's
Does it look like an octopus? Because they seem pretty alien to me.
Yeah. It could be an octopus. Maybe they have a secret society.
They're the first aliens. They're here.
I mean, there could be aliens in the bottom of the ocean. We haven't explored a whole lot of it.
Yeah.
Do you know any good sci-fi that deals with the bottom of the ocean?
20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
Okay, I guess that's true. That's a good book.
Great book.
Yeah.
Great one.
Pacific Rim.
Okay.
The kaiju come out of the ocean floor.
Yeah. Is that a book or is this
it's a movie?
It's just a movie, right? I just didn't know if there was also
I'm sure there's a comic book.
Yeah.
Godzilla comes from the bottom of the ocean.
That's true.
Yeah.
So what technology, speaking of sci-fi, would you pull forward into today? And don't say like propulsion or travel, because that's everybody's number one answer.
Teleportation.
Yeah, you can't say teleportation or warp drive because that's done. What else would you pull from sci-fi?
Okay. Maybe it's still going to count, but I kind of think that the ability to decouple your being from your body would be a really cool one. Like, think of everything you could do.
So that actually one of my newer questions. Do you think in the next, call it 40 years, because I think I'll live at least 40 years, that we'll be able to transfer that brain consciousness into an external body, call it robot, or like explore the universe through other means, but like you still have access to that and you're living a lot longer because you've moved your knowledge into some sort of artificially built organism, humanoid, that kind of thing?
I don't think directly, but I have a counter idea for you. Okay, imagine you build an AI model that's sufficiently representative of you, that it's basically indistinguishable from you. Okay, so that AI model lives on a computer somewhere. So obviously it can be put on a spaceship, and then you die, right? Are you actually really alive? Like, what's the difference between that?
Yeah, was consciousness transferred, or was it a copy paste and you're seeing a recording?
And and then you deleted the original.
Yeah. So do you think that's possible in the next 40 years?
I believe in the next 40 years. Yeah. No, I mean, is it still you? Like, that's a philosophical question, right?
Yeah.
I don't know the answer to that, but do I think it's possible? Yeah.
Would you do it? Would you transfer your brain over to some sort of humanoid robot?
If I was healthy, no, probably not. But if I had no other choice, maybe.
Okay.
I have another question because I've been asking that folks on the team recently. If you could freeze yourself and wake up in 300 years, would you do it?
Like right now, or
Right
like
now.
at the end of my life?
No, right now. Right
No
now.
way.
You have the same amount of number of years that you get to live. It's a bet on whether you want to live today or see what the world's going to be like 300 years from now.
So if I was single and not married with two amazing kids,
Yes.
sure,
Let's use that.
I would do it if
Yeah.
I didn't have a family.
Okay.
Right, but
all right.
I love
That's
you,
actually my
sweetie.
answer.
I love you, boys. I would not do it now.
Yeah, that was actually exactly my answer.
But if I could get all of them to do it with me, yeah, I would do that.
Interesting.
I would totally do that.
you have this indicates that you have a belief in the fact that the future will be better than today, and you don't.
I think that like I'm pretty well suited to life today.
Okay.
I think it's very possible that if I wake up in 300 years, it's gonna suck to be me. Like,
Or it could be even better.
I might be the dumbest person on earth. Which,
Or you could be the smartest person on earth.
yeah, and like, what's a better world? Both of them sound lonely.
Yeah, that's fair.
Adam, you can freeze yourself with me and my kids. And
Okay,
my wife.
I'll come.
Yeah, I'll keep you company in cryo.
Yeah. But I think it's reading sci-fi and stuff like this is usually a very good way to think about.
What's your favorite sci-fi book or movie?
Seven Eves, Neil
Good one.
Stephenson.
Yeah.
I haven't read that. I've heard it a couple times.
So I'm a big fan of like sci-fi books or movies that span across thousands of years,
Oh yeah.
like civilizations. So that's what I usually go for.
Okay. All right. So you're kind of a car guy. How fast have you been in a land vehicle?
Probably like 100, 120.
Okay.
Not that fast.
Nothing respectable. 120s.
Yeah, I never took a car to the track. So
Oh, we should fix that.
yeah,
We should
All
fix
right.
that.
you should do the podcast on the track. Actually,
We have actually.
You
did
have?
that one. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I
That's cool.
took Commander Chris Hadfield out on the track, and
Wow.
Jeff Thornburg, CEO at Portal, and a few other friends.
Dude, that's awesome. That's really fun.
So if you had a blank check, what vehicle would you get? And that vehicle can be anything from ocean to orbit. Doesn't have to
Ocean orbit?
doesn't have to be a car.
Oh, well, shit. I mean, I think I'd probably buy my own fighter jet and use it to commute. Like one of the, maybe like I'm not as much a fan of the super modern ones, but maybe I'd buy like what's got a good range? Maybe I'd buy a B-2 bomber. I know they're not very comfortable, but they go pretty. No, there's too much. Actually, you know what? No, I take it back. I'm buying an SR-71 Blackbird.
Yeah,
All right.
there we
Sorry,
go.
it took me a second, but
Go
now.
very fast.
We love the Blackbird around here.
Oh, dude. I
Yeah,
mean,
we love the
you know the
Blackbird.
whole story about like when they were going like Mach 3 and over, I don't know, I forget where it was, and there was like an F-16 trying to brag about how fast they were.
Oh
going.
yeah,
They
I've
called
heard
it
the ground
tower.
control speed check.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, that was hilarious.
Then the F-16 pilot's like bragging, "Oh, I'm going this fast,"
Yeah.
and then he's like, "Ground control, speed check," and he's like, "Mach 3," and the F-16's like, "Oh my gosh, shit!"
Yeah, that's exactly right. That was. I love the SR-71. XB-70 Valkyrie maybe also.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
It looks cool. It doesn't work, but it looks cool.
Do you have any friends or recommendations for future podcast guests that you think would enjoy this environment?
Ooh. Let me see. You guys did range view?
Who's that now?
Cameron? Oh, you should talk to Cameron.
Okay,
I'll introduce
hook
you.
me up.
He's the CR range view. He's a bro. He'll like that kind of stuff.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, they do casting. So it's like they 3D print the mold. I'm probably not using the right terminology.
Oh, yeah.
And then they cast the metal in that. It's
Yeah.
like super precision cast them, intricate parts.
All right, I want to talk to.
You guys will dig
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Well, Arthur, it's been fun, and Adam, thanks for joining the party, man.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Thanks for having me, guys, and
Yeah, let's do it again sometime. Ooh, I should give you your mic back.
That's This has been Full Bird. Thanks everybody for watching. We'll catch you next time.
all right, see y'all.